everyone, I'm Noreen and welcome back to my kitchen today. We're going to be making a classic appetizer accompaniment called crostini. If you're not familiar, this is nothing more than delicious garlicky toast that's made from Italian or French baguette and popped in the oven and brushed with garlic and olive oil, and it is oh so amazing. Generally it accompanies a dip or spread, but today we're going to show you how to make it. So let's go see how this all comes together. Okay, today we're going to make some crostini. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's just toast, but it's really good toast, and it's fancy toast. You may use it to serve with, like for hors d'oeuvres, you put like a white bean spread on it, or you put bruschetta topping, that's like a little fresh tomato salad, and we're going to be doing that in another video, but crostini is just an awesome thing that you can have in your arsenal of your recipe box, and you can top it with so many different things. You can put crostini out with artichoke dip or with spinach dip, and it's really, really delicious. So what I have here is just a French baguette from the grocery store, and then what you're going to do is you're going to want to cut this at an angle. So I have my Rata 6-inch bread knife, and I'm just going to go ahead. The end is usually like Cook's Treat, so
cut on a bias.
Yeah, you want to cut it on a bias or at an angle. And this, you see how this, if I cut it in slices straight this way, they would be really small. But when you cut it on a bias, you get a nice longer piece, and this is how you want them to look, just like that. So you're going to want to cut these about a 1/2 inch thick. Just eyeball it. You don't want them to be so thick that they're not going to. You want them to be crispy. That's what crostini are all about, crisp. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut up this whole thing of baguette, and then we're going to put it on to a dry baking sheet that I have just lined with a parchment. And we're going to pop these into a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Until they're nice and toasty. About halfway through, you want to go in there and flip them over so that both sides get nice and brown. And cut off the end. There you go. All right, let me grab my baking sheet. Just like that. Now I'm also going to be brushing these with flavored olive oil. We're going to flavor our olive oil with some garlic and some salt. And after these are toasted, which may seem odd, we're going to do it after the bread is toasted. We're going to brush the bread with the flavored olive oil. Now,
you couldn't have got that more perfect if you tried.
I didn't try. I just kind of threw it on there. Another option for you is after it's toasted, you can take a cut fresh garlic clove, which I don't have on hand right now, and just run it over the toasted bread. And that garlic is going to just kind of soak into the bread, and that would be traditionally what you would do. And then you would drizzle it with olive oil and then serve it with whatever topping you were going to serve it with. But today, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take about 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to mix it with about 1/4 cup of olive oil. And just a little bit of salt, not too much salt. And that's it. We're going to get a pastry brush and we're going to go ahead and mix that up after these are toasted. So I'm going to pop these in my preheated oven, 350, for about 15 minutes. After about 5 or 6 minutes, go ahead and flip them over, put them back in for another 5 or 6 minutes, bring them out, and then I'll bring these back. I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it looks like when they're all perfectly toasted. Okay, our bread toasted for just about 15 minutes. I went in about halfway through. I set my timer both times for 7 minutes, and I flipped it, and then I took it out when it was done. You see, it's beautifully dark golden brown around the edges on both sides, and it's crispy, but it's still soft in the center, and that's what you want. So I have my prepared olive oil here, and I'm just going to kind of dab each piece with a little bit of this garlicky olive oil. And that is how you make crostini. I'm going to be serving this with some fresh tomato bruschetta. You can also serve this with a puree of white beans and garlic and parsley, and that is absolutely amazing as well. If you'd like to see how I make that, leave a comment down below in the comment section, and I'll put it on the list because that's a wonderful summer appetizer to offer up when you have guests over, and it can be made really quickly out of things you just have in your pantry or kitchen cupboard. So that's how you make easy crostini. And how simple was that? But this takes just serving sliced bread with your dip to a whole other level. So I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting that thumbs up button. If you're new here, I'd like to say welcome and thank you for joining me today. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. If you're already one of my dedicated, tried and true subscribers, please remember to hit the notification bell button so that none of you miss out on all the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we present all the time right here on our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. So I hope you give making homemade crostini a try sometime soon, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.